Every NBA season, we see some players fall off and decline from their previous level of play that we're used to seeing from them. But sometimes, those players end up making a comeback. So today, we're going to talk about some NBA players who fell off and made a comeback. Markelle Fultz was the first pick in the 2017 draft, selected by the Philadelphia 76ers, but he didn't become the star many 76er fans had hoped for. Fultz ended up suffering a shoulder injury that ended up affecting his shooting, which led to him shooting only 33% from the field. And through his first year with the 76ers, he only played 14 games, averaging 7 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. In his second season, he continued struggling with injuries. But in the 19 games he did play, he averaged 8 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists, while shooting 28% from 3. Due to his injuries and lack of shooting through his first 2 seasons, the 76ers traded Markelle Fultz to the Orlando Magic on February 7, 2019. And at this point, many people were questioning whether Markelle had a future in the NBA. But over the past 3 seasons with the Magic, Markelle Fultz has steadily improved, most recently this season averaging 11 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists, while shooting 32% from 3, which is a career high. Markelle has still suffered some injuries, only playing 8 games in 2020 and 18 games in 2021, so we'll have to see if he's able to stay healthy, but he has earned a solid role as a scorer and passer. Carmelo Anthony has been one of the best scorers in the NBA since he entered the league in 2003, while playing for the Nuggets and Knicks, averaging over 22 points per game, earning him 10 All-Star selections. After averaging 22 points per game with the Knicks in 2016, he was traded to the Thunder, where he had a solid season. But after this, he was traded to the Rockets and only played 10 games before being released from the team. And no one else re-signed Carmelo Anthony for the rest of the season. So within 2 years, Carmelo went from being a star to being out of the league, with many people saying he didn't want to come off the bench. But after that season, Carmelo ended up signing with Portland for the 2 years, where he was able to carve out a solid role as a scorer, averaging 14 points per game through those 2 years. And after this season, he signed with the Lakers, where he was still a solid role player and averaged a little over 13 points a game. So after being released by the Rockets, Carmelo was able to bounce back and accept a lesser role as more of a scoring player off the bench. Dennis Smith Jr. was one of the best prospects in the 2017 NBA draft, where he ended up getting drafted 9th by the Dallas Mavericks. And he looked like a rising star in his first season, averaging 15 points per game along with 5 assists per game. But Dennis Smith's future took a turn when the Mavericks drafted point guard Luka Doncic in the 2018 draft, and as a result, he ended up having a lesser role and only averaging 12 points per game before being traded to the Knicks. And after this season, through the next 2 years with the Knicks, Smith only averaged 4 points per game before getting traded to the Trailblazers and the Pistons. But most recently in 2022, Dennis Smith Jr. has been playing with the Hornets as a solid backup point guard, and he's really been playing his best basketball since 2018, averaging 9 points per game along with 5 assists, and he's averaged 26 minutes per game, which are all career highs since 2018. So it's nice to see him taking advantage of his opportunity. After seeing a few players who were able to make a comeback in the NBA after falling off, comment on which one you think was the most impressive.